Welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. We are going to feature another 1500-point battle report against two fully painted armies. Today we have Dark Eldar versus Ultramarines led by Vulcan. This is the table, we haven't set it up yet, but we'll set it up. First, of course, as always, we will go over the armies, starting with Brad. Hey Brad, we've played before my Black Templars against your Ultramarines, and I got my butt handed to me quite handily. So this time, I brought my Dark Eldar out for a game. We're playing 1500 points, and of course, your beautifully painted Ultramarine army, led by Vulcan himself, is on the table today. So, what do we have in your list?
Well, I have a Land Raider Crusader, adding the multi-melta because of Vulcan. Yep. These are actually all Storm Shield Terminators. They're on my paint table, so these are my actually fully painted ones.
Yep.
I have a Thunderfire Cannon. I have a Storm Talon that I just added.
What missiles does he have?
He has the Typhoon missiles.
The Typhoons, yeah.
Drop pod with 6 Stern Guard with 4 Combi Meltas.
Yep.
2 Rhinos with Tactical Squads. Sergeant with Combi Flamer and Melta Bombs. And a multi-melta and flamer. In both squads. Yeah. Okay, that's 1500 points. Of course, Vulcan is the warlord. And I'll go over to my 1500 points, a little different than my last game. Today I'm trying out, after the FAQ, I'm trying out an Archon with a Shadow Field, a Husk Blade and a Soul Trap with a Phantasm Grenade Launcher and 4 Incubi with a Clavex Incubi in there to soak up challenges if he doesn't want to challenge. In a Venom with 1 cannon and Knight Shields. And then I have my Razorwing, stock Razorwing as always. 2 8-man Witch units with Haywire Grenades in Raiders with Knight Shields. 2 5-man Warrior units with Blasters in Venoms with dual cannons. 6 Reaver Jet Bikes. 3 regular Eldar Jet Bikes. 12-man Warrior unit with a Blaster with a Farseer with 1 power. And of course he's going to be rolling on Divination and Runes of Warding. And that's 1500 points. Okay, when we will be back, we will go over the mission and deployment. Thanks a lot for tuning in and enjoy the report. Mission, we got the Relic. And it's in the middle of the table. And we got Hammer and Anvil, so lengthwise. I won the roll off to deploy first, and I chose to take it to go first. And then my Warlord trait is Knight Attacker. So it is Knight Fight turn 1. And his Warlord trait makes Vulcan and the Terminators have Feel No Pain within 3 inches of an objective, so that's going to be interesting. And of course, that's the deployment there. We put down terrain. I tried to mitigate the Thunderfire Cannon with lots of line of sight blockers, and but he's making good use of that by then preventing me from shooting him with the line of sight blockers, so that's a good thing. And of course, in reserve, he has a Storm Talon and a Drop Pod, and I have my Razorwing. And Brad's going to try steal. Does he steal? No, so close. We had the 2 Witch Raiders move up and boost up onto this end here to get out of the line of sight of the Thunderfire Cannon and threaten those 2 units. We had the rest of the army move out of the line of sight of the Thunderfire Cannon, except for a few stragglers here. For my Farseer, I rolled Forewarning, so he can give anybody within 12 a 4+ invulnerable save, which is a nice blessing, which is great against the Thunderfire Cannon. So he put it on the unit so they can walk out into the open and might work later in the game in combat. So we'll see. Okay, so when we return, the drop pod will be showing up and it'll be Space Marine, turn 1. The Stern Guard dropped down and 3 Melta Guns into the Raider, who blew it up. They failed their pinning test and lost 3 models, but I have to roll a morale test. And they're okay, so they're just sitting there right now. That pivoted and shot at this one to no effect. That Land Raider Crusader shot at these jet bikes to no effect. And then that moved up 12 and blew smoke. And the Thunderfire shot and killed 2 models from here. Okay, so I'm rolling to see if my Razorwing shows up. And it does. These Eldar jet bikes moved up and grabbed the relic and boosted back and moved it over to this guy. They just kind of scooted over away from there. My Farseer gave the jet bikes a 4+ invulnerable save, who then promptly failed to hit the Land Raider with both Heat Lances. And then all these guys kind of shot out. I put a total of 9 wounds on that Thunderfire Cannon, and every save was made, so that Thunderfire Cannon is still alive, so one of these 2 Venoms is going to die. My Archon is still in here. That Rhino has 1 less hull point from a Haywire Grenade from my Archon.
This witch unit in here moved out. I shot at the Stone Guard who fell back, so they charged the Stone Guard for a pain token and consolidated 6 inches. And then these girls are still there, and my Razor Wing actually shot at the Stone Guard and ended up killing a couple of witches with a rocket. Okay, so now it's Space Marine turn 2, and we'll see if the Storm Talon shows up. And he does. Okay. Storm Talon came in, blasted the Razor Wing out of the sky with a lucky crack rocket, even though my Razor Wing evaded 2 rending assault cannon shots, which was awesome. He flamed that unit of witches. There's only 1 left, but she passed the morale test. All the jet bikes died because they got flamed and charged and shot by a lot of stuff. And then they consolidated. Vulcan's trait is having feel no pain within 3 inches of an objective. That gives him feel no pain. And so now we're on to Dark Eldar turn 3. And these jet bikes ran away after taking a casualty. Okay, so we'll be back. The Incubi got out. I 4+ invulnerable saved them, charged them into the Terminators, now that they're AP2, and killed 3 Terminators. Last Blade Archon didn't kill anybody, so Vulcan is safe so far. They moved up and took the relic again. They got into the witches that were here, got into that raider and chucked a haywire grenade into there to take a hull point off. And then that witch back there took 2 hull points off that Land Raider Crusader. And then I killed the Thunderfire Cannon with the Venom, and everything else shot at this Rhino and failed. And of course these 2 jet bikes rallied and just moved up a little bit. Oh, so now we're going into Space Marine turn 3. The Storm Talon moved up here, blasted the Eldar jet bikes into oblivion. The Land Raider Crusader successfully put 1 hull point on that raider. The Rhino back there murdered the last witch that was sitting over there. That unit double flamered the small unit at the bottom, wiping all the Cavalite warriors out. The Tech Marine moved over, and over here Vulcan killed the remaining Incubi, but the the Archon killed the Sergeant that was left. So now we have an epic warlord fight. A Husk Blade Archon versus Vulcan. So that'll be really entertaining for the next combat phase. End of Dark Eldar, turn 4 shooting phase. I decided to film the whole combat, to see how that happens with the Husk Blade, to see if it makes it fun. So, in the shooting phase, we moved up. The witches charged into here already and took the last hull point off, so that's wrecked with a glance. That raider finally hit and blew up that Rhino, and then a combined fire of the unit in this Venom and this entire unit into them killed another 6 of them. So now there's a Sergeant and Multi-Melta and 2 guys left. And the Storm Raven's still alive. These guys have a 4-up invulnerable save. So, combat. My Archon gets to go first. Dun dun dun, the epic combat. This is the first time I've used a Husk Blade in this manner, so let's see if it works. Needing 3s to hit Vulcan. No, weapon skill 6, I believe I am. Needing 4s. 3 hits. +1 strength thanks to combat drugs, so I need 4s to wound with the Husk Blade. 3 wounds. Nice. And Vulcan takes saves. Invulnerables. What's that?
4.
4. And what's this? It's a 5. He's alive. Vulcan lived. Okay. And now Vulcan. 3 attacks hitting on 4s. Mastercrafted. So that's 2 hits. Needing 2 to wound with his Relic Blade. So 2. So first Shadowfield save. That's a 5. So he's good. Second Shadowfield save. That's a 4. So he's okay. Yeah! Okay, so that's a stalemate. We will return after Space Marine turn 4. The Storm Talon flew off the table, ready to come in on turn 5 for some epic stuff. This Rhino moved up, continued to shoot at that, but I jinked away from everything. Drop pod shot a witch away from there. And then these guys moved out of the rubble and fired into that Venom together with the Tech Priest, or Tech Marine, sorry, and stripped the 2 hull points, so they had to emergency disembark. They're not pinned. And now we're going to do the combat on camera again, the epic warlord combat. We figured out that my Archon is actually weapon skill 7, so he's hitting Vulcan on 3s. Okay, so, dun dun dun, 3s to hit. 4 hits. And then 4 to wound thanks to his combat drugs. 2 invulnerable saves for Vulcan. And he's still okay with a 3 and a 4. Okay, Vulcan gets to swing back again. Needing 4 to hit. Mastercrafted. All hit this time. Needing 2 to wounds. All wounds. So, first Shadowfield save. He's okay. Second Shadowfield save. He's okay. Third Shadowfield save. He's okay. So that combat is continued to be tied, and now it's Dark Eldar turn 5. 4 up invulnerable for them. They moved back and kind of shuffled around with the relic. These witches tried to charge over here after this raider blew it up and got annihilated down to 1 witch that's just hiding back there. This venom successfully took out that tech marine, and then they snapshotted into there and only did 1 armor save, but he was fine. And so now we're doing the combat again. The Archon versus Vulcan, the epic combat in the middle of the table. So, Archon needing 3 hits. Is that 2? 2. 2 hits. Needing 4 to wound thanks to combat drugs. He does 2 wounds. 2 wounds. Does Vulcan die? Yes! Wow, sucked his soul out. And gonna take my leadership test for the soul trap. Okay, so we'll be back. Storm Talon came on, blasted into this unit, killed 3 and instant killed the Farseer with the assault cannon, and they fell back, dropping the relic. This yellow unit shot at the Archon but didn't kill him, and then that unit finally wrecked that raider at the back. And now we're going to roll to see if it goes on to turn 6. And it does. They actually failed to regroup, so they left the relic even further away. The Archon charged into here, got challenged, so he just killed the 1 guy, and they failed to run away, which means my Archon can't be shot now. Yay! They just kind of tried to get Linebreaker and stay out of sight with them. And now it's Space Marine turn 6. This is going really fast, and it's been an absolute bloodbath. We'll be back. Storm Talon moved up and removed almost everybody there with the assault cannon. Drop pod fired at this Venom. Did nothing. Archon just killed 2 more in here. He's starting to wind down. They moved up, fired into them, but this is a bolstered defense thanks to the Tech Marine, so they went to ground for 2 up. And Brad's going to roll to see if it goes on to turn 7. Does it? No, it doesn't. Needs a 4 up, right? Anyway, thanks a lot. Brad, do you have any last minute comments?
I hate Dark Eldar.
You hate Dark Eldar.
I cannot win.
Yeah.
Too much fire.
Well, it was actually really close for a while. Something that was really good was the Huskblade Archon. Man, he was awesome. Any person to fail their save first would have died because of the Relic Blade. And that was... so we'll calculate up points. It was First Blood to Brad. And I have Warlord points. And thanks to them, I have a Linebreaker. So I win on secondaries because nobody has the Relic. Even though I was able to grab it early and pull it back, Brad was able to keep the pressure on to... if he would have killed my Archon or if he would have done anything to them, it would have been a lot different. Well, thanks a lot for watching. As always, you can check out the 40k Nation, my Twitter feed, all that stuff, as well as the blog. Thanks, as we try to bring you good tabletop quality with lots of painted stuff, painted armies with good opponents. Okay, have fun. Enjoy. See you next time.